The wind howled through the skeletal pines, a banshee's wail echoing off the snow-dusted branches. Huddled in my parka, I squinted through the swirling snow at the figure stretched out on the gurney. Gabriel Thorne, they called him. Found wandering the woods near Blackwood Pines research facility, a blank slate, his past as barren as the winter landscape surrounding us. He wasn't the first. A string of disappearances had plagued the area lately, young hikers vanishing without a trace. But Gabriel was different. He was alive, barely, his body racked with hypothermia, but his mind, a perfect void. As a neuropsychologist specializing in memory loss, these were the cases that both fascinated and terrified me. Peering into the abyss of a shattered mind was like navigating a minefield of forgotten trauma and fractured realities. It was a job that chipped away at your own sanity, a constant battle against the shadows your patients unearthed within themselves. The gurney rolled past the sterile white walls of the Blackwood Pines research wing, a stark contrast to the wild, untamed beauty outside. Dr. Alistair Vance, the facility's enigmatic head researcher, emerged from the shadows, his smile a shark's bared teeth. "Dr. Wright," he said, his voice smooth as polished marble, "thrilled you could make it. Gabriel is quite the puzzle, wouldn't you agree?" His words sent a shiver down my spine. Dr. Nolan projected an air of unsettling confidence, a man with too many secrets tucked away behind his steely gaze. "He'll require extensive therapy," I replied, trying to match his composure. "But I'm confident we can make some progress." Inside the sterile isolation chamber, Gabriel lay motionless, a tangle of pale limbs and dark hair. As I began the preliminary assessments, a strange feeling settled over me. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the rhythmic hum of the machines. Then, I heard it, a faint whisper, almost subliminal, brushing against the edges of my consciousness. It was a voice, formless and raspy, uttering a single word, "Run." A bead of sweat trickled down my forehead. Was it the cold, fatigue, or something more sinister? This wasn't the first time I'd experienced such anomalies while working with patients suffering extreme memory loss. But something about this whisper felt different, imbued with a sense of urgency that sent a jolt of unease through me. Pushing the unsettling experience aside, I began the long, arduous process of unearthing Gabriel's buried past. Little did I know, it would be a journey that would shatter my own reality, forcing me to confront not just the secrets of Blackwood Pines, but the chilling demons lurking in the corners of my own mind. Days turned into nights, and the whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Run," they hissed, weaving through the white noise of the hospital machinery. Each time I tried to dismiss them as a figment of my overactive imagination, they grew clearer, more demanding. The line between Gabriel's delusions and my own sanity grew thinner. One evening, as the moon cast a silver net over the sleeping facility, I found myself drawn to the archives. The whispers had become too much to ignore, guiding me like a siren's call through the labyrinthine corridors. The room was a tomb of dusty tomes and forgotten research, a testament to the countless lives consumed by the pursuit of knowledge. As I sifted through the documents, my eyes fell upon a name that sent a shiver down my spine. Dr. Lila Castellanos. She had been the head of neurological research before me, and her disappearance was as much a mystery as Gabriel's condition. The file contained a series of chilling notes, detailing experiments that seemed to dance on the edge of madness. Subjects had been exposed to a device that could potentially rewire the human brain, stripping them of their memories, leaving them as blank as Gabriel. The whispers grew to a crescendo, the room spinning around me. My breath came in ragged gasps as I realized the horrifying truth. Gabriel wasn't the first. The whispers weren't just in my head. They were the echoes of lost souls trapped within the very fabric of Blackwood Pines. The revelation hit me like a sledgehammer. The research here wasn't just about healing. It was about control, about bending the very essence of humanity to their will. The thought was too monstrous to fathom, and yet the evidence lay before me, a chilling testament to the lengths some would go to play God. I had to get Gabriel out of here, to save him from the same fate that had claimed Dr. Castellanos and so many others. But how? The facility was a fortress, its secrets as deeply buried as the whispers in the walls. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They had led me to the truth, and now they demanded action. I knew that I couldn't do it alone. I needed an ally, someone who could help me navigate the treacherous halls of Blackwood Pines and expose the darkness lurking within. The choice was clear. I turned to Gabriel, his eyes flickering with the faintest glimmer of understanding. "We're getting out of here," I murmured, taking his hand. "Together." The whispers grew silent, the tension in the room thick as the snow outside. We had a plan, a desperate gamble to escape the clutches of the research facility and bring its dark secrets to light. The night was our ally, cloaking us in shadows as we moved through the corridors. The whispers had subsided, but the fear remained, a constant drumbeat in my chest. We encountered no one, the halls eerily deserted. Was it a trap, or had the whispers truly led us to a path of escape? We reached the security checkpoint, a heavy door with a biometric scanner. My trembling hand hovered over the scanner, heart racing. If Nolan had anticipated my betrayal, if he had changed the codes. But the whispers grew louder, a cacophony of encouragement. I took a deep breath and placed my hand firmly on the pad. The light flickered green, and the door slid open with a hiss. We stepped into the blinding white of the research wing, the air thick with the scent of antiseptic and fear. The whispers grew distant, as if the very walls themselves were swallowing them whole. Gabriel looked at me with a mix of hope and terror. "What now?" he whispered. "We find the exit," I said, my voice low and determined. "And we don't stop until we're out of here." We moved quickly, sticking to the shadows. Each room we passed revealed more of the facility's grisly secrets. Operating tables stained with what looked like ancient blood, flickering screens displaying images of brains dissected in the name of science, and cabinets filled with serums that could rewrite a person's very essence. A sudden sound jolted us to a halt, the unmistakable clank of a lock disengaging. We ducked into an empty office, our hearts pounding in unison with the whispers that had returned, now a frantic chant of "Run!" The footsteps grew closer, and I could feel the heat of panic rising in my chest. We were trapped, surrounded by the very nightmare I had hoped to escape. But then, a voice, clearer than the whispers, spoke directly to me. "Dr. Wright." It was Dr. Castellanos, her ghostly visage appearing before us, her eyes pleading. "You must leave now," she urged, her voice a strained whisper. "Take Gabriel and the sphere on the table. It's the key to everything." Her image flickered and vanished as the footsteps grew louder. I knew what we had to do. I grabbed the sphere from the table, its warmth a comforting presence, and led him back into the corridor. The whispers grew into a roar as we sprinted down the hallway, the very air around us seeming to push us forward. The exit was in sight, a beacon of hope at the end of a very dark tunnel. But between us and freedom stood a wall of armed guards, their eyes cold and their aim steady. Gabriel looked at me, his eyes wide with terror. "What do we do?" Without hesitation, I raised the sphere, the whispers of the lost souls now a deafening crescendo in my mind. The guards took a step back, their faces contorting in pain. The sphere's power grew, the air crackling with energy. The door to the research wing burst open, revealing the night sky and the promise of escape. We dashed through the gap, the guards collapsing to the floor, their weapons clattering to the ground. Outside, the world was a blur of cold and darkness. The snow had stopped, leaving us a clear path to the treeline. The whispers grew faint, their job done. We stumbled through the woods, the whispers now a distant echo. We had the sphere, the evidence of Blackwood Pines' dark experiments, and a ghostly ally in Dr. Castellanos. But we weren't out of the woods yet. The facility was vast, and the whispers had shown me only one path. We had to navigate the treacherous terrain, avoid the patrols, and find a way to expose the truth without falling into the same trap that had claimed so many before us. As we disappeared into the night, the whispers grew softer, but the gravity of our situation weighed heavy on my shoulders. The whispers had led us this far, but it was up to us to ensure they weren't silenced forever. We reached the edge of the woods, the distant lights of civilization a beacon in the dark. The whispers had led us to the brink of escape, but the real battle was just beginning. With the sphere in hand and a ghostly ally guiding us, we would not rest until the truth of Blackwood Pines was revealed to the world. The whispers grew faint, their message clear: tell our story. And so, with determination etched into our very souls, we set forth into the unknown, the whispers of the lost echoing in our ears like a solemn promise. We would not fail. We would not be forgotten. We would be the ones to bring the secrets of Blackwood Pines to light. The trek through the woods was fraught with danger. Each snap of a twig, each rustle of leaves, sent our hearts racing. The whispers grew faint, leaving us to navigate the labyrinthine pathways with only our wits and the flickering light of the sphere. But as we stumbled upon a hidden clearing, the whispers grew stronger, guiding us to an ancient stone structure, half buried in the earth. The building was unlike anything we'd seen before, its arches and buttresses speaking of a civilization long lost to time. The door was sealed, but the sphere's warmth grew intense, and with a gentle push, it swung open, revealing a chamber filled with arcane devices and tomes of forgotten lore. We knew we'd found a sanctuary, a place where the whispers were strong and the truth lay hidden. We pored over the texts, our eyes widening with each revelation. The sphere was not just a tool of power but a guardian of knowledge, a sentinel that had chosen us to prevent its misuse. The whispers grew clearer, telling us of a group who sought to harness the sphere's power for nefarious purposes. They had been watching Blackwood Pines, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And now, with us in possession of the sphere, they would not rest until it was theirs. Our mission had become a race against time. We had to expose the facility's dark secrets before the shadowy organization could claim the sphere and plunge the world into chaos. The whispers grew insistent, guiding us to an ancient device that could amplify the sphere's signal, broadcasting our message to the world. We worked tirelessly, piecing together the puzzle of the device. Each component was a testament to the ingenuity of a lost age, each gear and lever a silent storyteller of battles won and lost. As we approached the final stage, the whispers grew to a fever pitch, urging us onward. The machine roared to life, the sphere pulsing with a blinding light. The whispers grew silent, their work done. We waited, our hearts in our throats, as the signal spread outward, piercing the veil of secrecy that had shrouded Blackwood Pines for so long. In the quiet that followed, we could almost hear the whispers of the lost souls, their voices carried on the wind, finding peace at last. Our journey was far from over, but for now, we had done what we set out to do. The whispers had led us to the truth, and together, Gabriel and I would ensure that it was heard. The whispers had shown us the way, but it was our determination that had set us free. The world would know of the horrors that had been wrought in the name of science, and the price paid by those who had been lost to the sands of time. We would not rest until justice was served, and the whispers of Blackwood Pines were silenced forever. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest stories, give us a like if you want to see more, and drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts.